Secondary in North Delta. Featuring the North Delta Roos versus the North Delta Crocs. Hello and welcome. I'm Andrew Lever and I'm joined, next to me is true Aussie Jason Stratford. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Just tell me a little bit about what we're going to see today, the Crocs and the Roos.
I'm expecting big things from this game. The Crocs and the Roos are the top of the table in this division. This is the under 16s that we're looking at right now, as compared to the last game, which were the under 13s.
All right. So it looks like we're almost set to go. And just leading, you said this is this the highest division of the North Delta League? Yeah,
these are the older kids. And so, yeah, this is the premier stuff right here.
All right.
Should be good. Should be a good game, this one.
And we have Crocs playing in green.
Yes.
And Roos will be in blue for our viewers' sake. As we have our officials on field. I guess waiting for... Oh, looks like we're ready to go.
All right. And it's Chris Palmer throwing the ball up to start the game.
Ball's going back and forth a bit early on.
Yep, Jordan has the ball. Big kick from Jordan. He knows the cameras are out. And here's a defensive play here from Justin with the hand pass over towards Quinn, who has the ball now. Actually, not Quinn. Robin has the ball.
Missed his tackle there.
And TJ's taking the mark. Unbelievable. The guy doesn't take a lot, but when he takes one, he likes to let everyone know. So, expecting things from him. Kick forward from TJ. And here's Nick, the son of the coach McFarlane. Kicks the ball forward. And Jordan actually takes a really good mark there.
Son of a coach will have more than camera's eyes on him today.
Yes, indeed. A little bit of a spit from Jordan. Don't know if that was all that attractive, but we'll have a word with him about that later. So he sends the ball forward. A little bit of a push there. Justin slips over at the crucial moment. Could have been kicking in danger there. Yes, that's what Chris has adjudicated. Of course, you cannot have your boot out. You cannot put your foot in when there's a contest like that, when the hands are down of the opposition player. That's why he paid a free kick there. Oh, good mark from, I think this is Liam. Yes, Liam has the ball.
When you say you can't put the boot out, what kind of boot is that now in terms of equipment that these kids are wearing?
The foot. I don't know, they've got football boots, soccer boots,
all right,
whatever works for them. There's Nick, son of the coach. Now that's Quinn in there this time. Carlee has the ball, but it's gone over the line. So whoever touched the ball last, it's the opposition's kick in. So this will be a Roos ball, and it's TJ with it at the moment. I don't know if he's looking for leads or he's going to have a shot, or maybe he's thinking about his hair a bit too much again. Sorry, I'd like to have a bit of a go at TJ. He enjoys it. Takes a shot at goal. I think he's popped that through the middle. Waiting on a decision from the umpire. Yes, I think that's all clear.
Gone to collect his flags.
Yes,
both of them.
Lovely. Well done from TJ. Definitely knows he's on camera today.
Roos on the board quickly.
Yeah, good start. One straight goal. That'll equal 6 points. And what happens in Aussie Rules football is just what Chris is doing there, giving the ball over to Greg, umpire Greg. You run the ball from when it goes through for a score like that, run it back to the middle. And he did it just professionally right then. Good tap from Tyler, I think that was, and now he's putting the tackle on Jordan. Getting a lot of the ball. His kicks are great today. That's a long kick forward. Well tapped by Justin. And here's Chenille. He has the ball. He should perhaps hook that around. Hand pass over. There's a good kick forward. Oh, he's offline. That was Patrick. Yeah, we call that offline when they're having a shot at goal. If it misses, we say, and that was offline.
It's still good for a point, though.
Yeah, he gets a score for missing, which is always good.
But really, if you're going for the 6, it's more of a consolation prize.
Absolutely. Sometimes you can win by those misses like that, though. Big reach from Evan, the big 6'7" guy there in the middle, number 17 for the Roos.
Now, with these older players, you can definitely see how the length of the field is almost too short now.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah, they're getting big now. Yeah, it's just 1 year later from when we did this last, and they've definitely grown. Good hand pass there from Jordan. I don't know what's happened. Oh, it was a hand pass. I think umpire Greg sort of lost the plot there. Of course, it's only a mark if it's kicked forward. But he does a good job, Greg. I won't be too hard on him. Oh, there's a tackle on Matthew. Play on was called by the umpire. Almost a throw there from Marlena. Bit ordinary back there at the moment. Jordan has the ball. Good tackle on him by Evan. There's Matthew again. Good tackle from Robin. Dishes out the hand pass. And Jordan snaps it over his shoulder. That's pretty close. We're waiting on the decision by the umpire. Bit of a delay. Professional pause, perhaps. We're still waiting on the decision. Perhaps they're not too clear. That's Lynn down there in the goals, adjudicating, and she's given the one behind. So the ball obviously missed the middle 2 sticks. Ball being kicked back in by a Robin. Only about his 3rd game of this, Robin. Very new to it. Same with Big Evan here too. He's huge, this guy's huge. And he's only just, this is his 1st season too, so they're doing really well. We've got Brand, who just had the ball then. The ball's forward now. And here's Chantel. No, her name is not Carlee, it is Chantel. That was from last year. Delivers it to Carlee.
Now, from the perspective of a true Aussie, how is the development of these players comparable to what there would be in Australia?
It's not too bad. Some of them just naturally have really picked it up, and so what they're doing is more of a natural kick. It's difficult because the Canadians are used to kicking, sort of having the ball held differently, and sort of in Canadian football and the way they kick there. So it's hard, but they're doing well. They'd be pretty close to the Australian standard.
What type of, for an outsider, what type of player or athlete would make a good Aussie rules player?
Well, Liam just puts through a goal, I have to mention that. And the Roos are on the board again with another straight kick. To be honest with you, I wasn't really listening to you then. I was watching the game. Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, sorry. I'll go ahead again then.
Go for it, please.
What type of athlete makes a good Aussie rules player?
I'd say heart. Got to have heart. Heart's very big. It's a very physical game too. So as they get older, they'd have to sort of beef themselves up a bit, I think, to withstand a lot of the bumps and so on. It depends. There's so many different positions you can play on the ground. So it depends on the size of you where you play on the ground. So you know, anyone can really play it as long as you're fit. You really have to be fit. That'd be the #1 thing, because there's so much running. It doesn't stop very often. Marlena nearly taking the mark down there. Got a bit of wind interference up here in the box. Ball goes out. And it'll be kicked in.
Don't realise what happened there. Just ball went out of bounds.
Yeah, I think it was actually hand passed out. I wasn't paying too much attention either. Jordan has the ball again.
But another whistle.
Yep, that was a mark, so he's just indicating that it was a mark. Now we need a big kick from him here. See if he can put it through the middle. He's taking his time. Oh, he's played on with the hand pass. Nothing wrong with that. Matty gets the ball. Now Justin has it in defence to clear it for the Roos. Hopefully a clearance. Now that was touched. Well done. That was Courtney in there. Tyler has the ball, being chased by a Brandt. Ball goes forward. Carlee's going towards it. Liam has it now. Shakes the tackle. And that's a good tackle there too. Put on him. Kick forward from Liam. I think he kicked another one. That's sensational. And another goal to the Roos. And I think now they're up to 3 goals. They've kicked very well here. I mean, that's the difference. You have a look at the scoreboard. Until that goal, they both had 2 shots a goal. The Roos more accurate, so they're 2 goals, no behinds, and the other team was no goals and two behinds. So it makes a big difference on the scoreboard if you kick accurately.
So the accuracy of kicking can really be a 5-point swing.
Definitely, absolutely.
See this?
Chris balls it up.
Scoreboard being changed there. As you see, it has 3. It's divided into 3 sections. Maybe Jason just run us through it.
Sure. The first one, the G, is the goals. And the second one is the behinds, and then it's total on the end, the total amount of points. So that, yeah, you add them up basically. 3 goals equals
6
18.
points.
Yeah, equals, so 3 times 6 is 18. I think that was Tyler back there sending the ball forward. This guy's name's Lucien, I believe. First season for him as well.
Really seeing the tackles fly in now.
Yeah, I missed what happened there. I think there was a throw called, I heard. So now we have Tyler with the ball. And we have Brandt on the mark. So he's looking for some leads, and actually Liam makes a very good lead up front. Nicely done. Good spoil there too from Braden. And here comes Evan.
Having to reach way down low to
Big
pick that ball up.
6'7", he's kicked and he's offline. He's way out of bounds on the full, we call that. Tried to give it a big roost then. We call it a roost when you go for a really big kick.
Roos.
We'd say that's a roost.
All right. I'll let you take that one.
Don't ask me where it came from. It's just something that's always been said. The ball in from Nick, and that's a good mark there from Carlee. He's been playing for a while too. Tries to bring the rain down with that one. Bit of a spoil in the middle there. Brand has the ball. I thought he might have been taken a little too high there around the neck.
Look a bit high around the neck.
But we're probably in a better position than the umpire is up here though. So we'll let Chris get away with that one. Good tackle on Tyler. Yeah, it's getting a bit ordinary in there. There's a good tackle from behind from Liam. Jordan gets the ball over though. Derek sends the ball down into the forward line. Gets an ordinary bounce. And there's probably going to be the ball's comes out of the pack. And Patrick tried to bang it off the ground for a goal, but was unsuccessful.
And that's just as legal as kicking out of your hand?
Doesn't really matter how it goes through the middle of the goals as long as it comes off a foot, off the attacking team's foot, and it's not touched by anybody, it's a goal. So yeah, you can soccer it through, as we would say. Here's Evan again. Oh, he's tried to go off the ground there, which kind of worked. Quinn's got the ball, breaks the tackle, kicks it forward, and it snuck through for a goal. It just missed the post.
Very close, that one.
Yeah, I mean, if it had to touch the post instead of the 6 points, he would have only got the 1. So it was a close one, and not like this game. It's starting to be a bit of a blowout with the Roos 4 goals and no behinds, and the Crocs they've got a bit of work to do.
It is early on, though, as we saw in our other game, that can swing quickly.
Yeah, there was a bit of a comeback in the last game. Umpire Greg, who's also one of the coaches, sends the ball up. Nicely done from Jordan. That's like a perfect thing. Went straight to a Crocs fellow player. Alex sends it forward. In defense, Courtney gets tackled. Marlene is in there as well. Jordan again with the hand pass over to Maddie. Now here comes their first goal for sure. Puts it through the middle. Nicely adjudicated there. The goal umpire, Lynn, does a good job. Takes out her flags.
In authentic fashion, I might add.
She's done a fine job down there. So that's a good goal to get. That puts them back in it a little bit. Gives them some heart, some hope.
It's fairly alone in front, though. It's really odds on to score.
Yeah, pretty much. It was good play, though, through the middle, I thought. It started right from the first tap as well.
It just shows our viewers how quickly, I guess, you can score in a game like this. It went right from the middle of the park.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right towards a goal.
Yeah, it can be quite a high-scoring game, which is great. I mean, more goals better, I think. Comes Lukey, sends a ball forward with a hand pass. Good defense there from Justin. Still has it. And then he's tackled. Here's Lucienne. Lukey again sends it forward. Carlee gets tackled, bit of a scream. Chantel had the ball then, gave it out, and it's a bit messy in there. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. So when the ball can't get out like that, it's held to them, and that's what he was doing with his hands through umpire Chris there. Just showing that there was no way they could have gotten the ball out. Tyler grabs the ball, really snap it around his body, he does, but he's offline, and it goes through for just the one behind, or actually the goal umpire there says, I think he's given it that it, yes, he said it's one behind. I thought he was signaling it was out of bounds for a second there.
They will get the 1 point, though.
They will. In fact, that's their first miss. I think the scoring person is gone to sleep. Nope, she's there. She's put it up. And viewers watching this and do not know what I'm talking about because the camera's not showing that, but that's fine. The ball sends forward. Good mark overhead. And Alex continues on with the ball. Hand pass forward to Matt. Matthew's got it. Justin's hot on his heels. He tackles. That's a good tackle. That's almost holding the ball. Yes, good decision from umpire.
We heard a whistle, so it was holding the ball.
Yep.
One thing might be worth explaining to our viewers is the mark. Even when the ball is caught, the player still has the option to move ahead.
Yeah, to play on, or it's up to him. He can either sort of take his time, walk back, take the kick, sort of measure the kick, or just play on, sort of run off and carry on.
Must take some getting used to for people that are used to the whistle stopping
yeah, definitely,
the play.
Definitely. Good kick from Jordan forward. That's a bit of a roost as well, but then that's offline for just one behind. Almost, it had a funny turn on the ball then, a bit of a mongrel punt, we call that. It's another term for you.
Mongrel punt.
A mongrel punt. Not going to explain that one either, but that's just another one for you.
It's Aussie rules football and
nice
the
kick
best
in there
of
from
the
Robin.
Australian dictionary.
Indeed. A little bit of kicking in danger, I thought there, but he got away with it. The umpire must have missed that one. Courtney's in there. She's doing well. Good little battle there with Marlena. This will probably result in a ball up. And in fact, it does.
Players will assemble around it here and try and get on the end of it.
Yeah, in theory, the player jumping should really try and look for,
as we saw earlier,
players, yeah, and tap it straight to them. And in a perfect world, well done from Courtney. Lukey sends it forward. Alex is in there. Some good tackling going on here. It's actually a little bit ordinary, this bit of play at the moment. A bit messy. Tyler tries to break a tackle. That would almost be holding the ball if I was out there. Yeah, he's given a throw, which is pretty much what happened because of the tackle. It was almost a holding the ball. I think that's Brandt out there that has the ball. Right in front of the scoreboard with our Pro-Am sponsors. Front and centre on the scoreboard. So here we are with Chenille.
That was well taken.
It's good to see Chenille getting into the game. He's been a bit quiet so far. He can really give it a roost, this guy. Nice defence from Rob. Oh, actually, he's dropped the ball, and it's gone through for just the one behind. That's touched through for one behind.
It might be one, but it was definitely inevitable. I mean, avoidable, more like.
Yeah, I mean, that could be an important point that they just scored at the end of the game. You never know, because he dropped the mark and it went through for one. If he had taken the mark, they wouldn't have scored at all. He would have cleared it, whatever. Good running here. Brandt does well there, gets the hand pass over, but to the wrong player. Now Evan has it, lopes away, as he does. Much better kicking, used two hands then. TJ drops what he probably should have taken, but puts a good tackle on Carlee. Evans got the ball again. I'm thinking he's going to have a shot at goal. He does. That's looking good. That's a lovely goal. Right through the middle.
Good example there of maybe picture-perfect goal.
Yes, yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. You could tell that he wanted to do that too. I could just see as soon as he picked the ball up, he wanted to bang it through the middle like that. Nicely done. They go further ahead.
I know we'll be looking at one later, but which part of the ball would you kick to make a good kick?
Yeah, well, normally...
Give it a good roost.
A good roost, indeed. Depends how you're holding the ball. I mean, really, it comes to how you hold the ball. And so you hold, the laces sort of are out, is a perfect world. And then you kick it sort of underneath the ball on the end. Not quite on the end, but there's a sweet spot. But yeah, we can get into that later on. Tyler has the ball.
Burnsview secondary. I'm Andrew Lever alongside Jason Stratford.
Tyler has it again. He looks forward. It's not a bad kick at goal. The umpire says it's one behind. So he's offline. It was a good kick. There's a bit of a wind has sprung up, sort of aiming towards us now. The wind is coming towards the commentary box. I think that might have pushed that ball just the other side of the big sticks.
And, umpire's lost his hat.
Oh, he's got to put it back on again. Now he's looking all official.
We're ready to go.
Nick sends it forward, son of the coach. Big Jordan goes for the ball there. Still has it. He's had a lot of the ball this quarter, actually. Sends it forward. Nice kick forward. Ordinary hands there from Courtney. She runs over the ball. Robin's in there. Weaving. Sends it forward towards Lukey. He's dropped the ball, and because it came off his hands, it'll now be kicked in by a Croc.
What technique is there in order to catch the ball like that, especially when it's spinning so uncontrollably.
I think in that case, he probably should have put his arms together and just sort of nestled it into his chest in that case. He didn't have anybody around him too, he had plenty of time, so that would have been the way to do it. So that's the end of the first quarter. And it's 5-2, 32 to the Crocs 1 for 18, I think. Or is it 10? Yes, 1 for 10.
So the Roos managed to pad it a little more, but still Crocs out in front.
Absolutely.
Did I get that right? All right. Now.
Well, Roos are in front.
Oh,
yep.
all right.
Yep. Crocs are almost 4 goals behind at this stage.
Now we've got a time between the quarters here. Just tell us a little bit about this special prop you've brought with you.
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for asking. This is the Adelaide Crows. It's a team in well, this is not the Adelaide Crows. This is a football, but it was donated. Oh, I see. There we are. Kind of new at this. Sorry, folks. Yeah, this is one of the National League teams in the AFL.
And your favorite, I might.
This is my team.
I understand.
Yes.
All
yeah.
right.
Well, I'm from the city too, the Adelaide Crows. So yeah, they sent it over actually as donated as a prize to the kids for.
So this is going to be a prize for one of the kids?
Yeah, one of the awards that we give out. We give out quite a few awards.
Do you know for what?
At this stage, we haven't determined what we're going to give this towards for which award, but we'll come up with that.
So we do
later.
know that come the end of this season, one kid will get a very nice prize.
Yes, it's good. It's sponsored by Faster Pasta in Australia, which is a pasta chain. Very, very good food. Very cheap too, and very quick.
All right.
Hence
good,
the pasta.
Good to know. If I'm ever there, I'll make sure.
Right.
I'll remember that.
I don't know why I'm plugging them, but anyway. So yeah, this is the football they've sent over.
So just running through, we were talking about kicking it.
Yes,
like
well I'll show you
now
one
we have
here.
the visual. Maybe just.
We do. Sorry about the band-aids. Basically, the hands should be like this when you're kicking. The thumbs sort of around about where the start of the laces are. And it's a bit hard to do it when I'm sitting down, but that's basically sort of the angle you want to hold it as well. And the idea is to get the kick right here. So this is kind of like the sweet spot. So if it's kicked here, it turns like this, and then it's easier for the other player to mark the ball, catch the ball. We call it a mark. So that's what you want to do. So the more we see the ball like this in the air, we know that they're kicking properly. There's other ways too. I mean, you can do it this way as well. Hold it sort of side on, and we call that it's a screwy or a torpedo.
Another interesting word for our viewers.
Yes,
Screwy. All right.
yes, or a torpedo. It depends which state you come from too. There's a lot of terminology in Australian rules too that changes depending on where you're from.
So it's very regional.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, there's something like we call in Adelaide in South Australia, we call it a check side punt is actually called a banana kick in Melbourne, in Victoria. So
all right.
It just depends where you're from. So I would say, and that's another way you can kick it, you sort of hold it differently again, and it spins, and you can kick it on the end, and it kind of turns, and we call that a check side, and it's a banana kick in
And while we're
Victoria.
on camera still, quickly, maybe you just demonstrate the hand pass?
For sure. It's almost, I always say to the kids that it's almost like you're handing it to them on a platter. So you want your left hand flat if you're a right-hander. And the idea is really basically just to sort of hit it here so that, again, it does that turn. So it's kind of like this. I don't know if anyone, anyway. But yeah, so it turns, so that's the hand pass. And obviously put your body behind it. And I'm actually not that great at the hand pass. Takes a while to get used to it. And I tend to try not to pass it too much too. I like to have a shot at goal.
All right, so you say the kicking is more your fortitude.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I don't know.
So going back to the game now, what were the highlights for you of that first quarter?
Well, there was quite a lot of big kicks involved, some good marks. I thought it was pretty good. It was fairly high scoring for one team in particular. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good game. I mean, the winds picked up too, which is making it a little bit difficult for them and for us.
And what would you expect coming into this second quarter?
Well, the one good thing about the kids league is that they all rotate their positions. So it's if they were dominating in the first quarter, it may be a completely different story because they've completely changed positions. So the people in the forward area go to the back, and the back go to the middle, and middle to the front, and so on. So it actually changes up the game. So I quite like that actually in this league, because it does. You never know what's going to happen. Jordan has the ball again. Looks to go for. He's been hanging on to that for quite some time. He's got to get rid of it, which he does. A little bit of a high tackle there from Liam. Nearly ripped Justin's head off.
Now, I do notice that the teams are still attacking the same goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that just something that's changed for today, or do you normally change sides after the quarters?
Yeah, you'd normally do. You kick the other end. Oh, there's a nice kick forward too. Nicely done indeed there. Alex just banged it through the middle. Good use of the wind. I saw the ball come back on the wind there. I mean, that's actually one of the reasons why they do change ends too, is because of the wind conditions and so on. It actually makes it really exciting, because if the wind was blowing, you know, a lot down one end, that team could have, using the wind in the first quarter, could have scored 7 goals. And the other team, say they got 1 goal against the wind. Well, it's their turn next to see if they can make good use of the wind as well. So see if they can come back. And then you've got someone winning by a lot, another one coming back, and it's up and down, and it's good.
So we have noticed, though, that it's a bit windy today.
Chantel sends the ball forward, and a nice mark there from Chenille.
Will we be changing sides now that the wind's picked up?
Controversial question, yeah. No, I think this wind is across the ground, so I don't think it's a huge advantage in this particular game. Feels like it's across the ground, so. But no, we wouldn't really do that. I mean, it's just kind of the luck of the draw in the kids' league. If you've got the wind, well, good on you. What we try and do as coaches too is we look at the table and we say, oh, you know, the standings, you know, the team that's behind will give them the use of the wind. Nice kick forward from Liam, but it went through for a point.
Controversial question.
I guess it wasn't that controversial, but I just like saying the word controversial. Anyway, signaled for a behind there. Okay, the kick in from the Crocs. Got a lot of work to do. They've got a lot to catch up here. Well done from Courtney. Over to, I think this is Robin, or is it? Yes, it's Robin. He's banged it through the middle. Nicely done. In fact, it was Justin.
Now, I don't know what season the Aussie Rules Football League runs through in Australia, but what kind of weather conditions are typical of that season?
Well, for the middle part of the season, it can be quite shocking, because it's the middle of winter, so it'd be
So they
wet.
do play over the winter?
Yeah, I mean, it's not sort of your minus 10s and 20s and 30s, or... We're not in Alberta, are we?
No,
Sorry. No, but it's not as cold as the winters are even in Vancouver, not for the most part, but you would get your sort of 12-degree days and 12, 13, 14, 15. Sort of sits around there in the middle of the season. But the start and the end of the season, because it starts in April and ends in the last weekend in September, in the National League anyway, there can be some really nice days. So something's happened here. I was talking and didn't even look up.
Seems to be a player down.
I can't even see who it is. It almost looks like Michaela. I mean, I didn't even think she was here.
Number
She must have
5
just
for
come
the
on.
Crocs.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it? It's Carlee, is it? I think it must be.
Coach is now out on the field.
Do we have replays on Delta Cable Television? Can we look at the replay, or is that
We'll
too
have
difficult?
to let our production staff see what they can do.
Let's go with
But
the replay.
in the meantime, maybe this is a good time. A lot of people have a preconceived notion that Aussie Rules football is a very violent sport. What do you have to say to people who say that?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with what's been covered over here in the last few years, well, the last 20, 30 years, is, from what I've been told, is that they've always been shown the highlights of the big hits of the game, and they're not shown all the skillful part of it. I mean, you can see out here today it's been pretty skillful, and there hasn't really been anything nasty until now, and I don't even know what happened because I was looking down or something.
Well, Jason, we do actually have a replay.
Get out
Don't know
of here.
what we'll be able to see
there we go.
from it, but
Nicely done. Okay, so there's Carlee now. She's approaching the ball. I think maybe her legs went out underneath her or something. She's just
Hard
sort
to-
of falling down. It's almost like she just fell awkwardly. Okay,
Maybe
she's
it's at
diving.
this
Oh, it might
point.
have been a boot in the head.
oh, there it is.
A boot in the head? Did I call that?
Yeah. Looks like
Can we
the
go back a little-
number
oh.
14 that's falling there just catches her in the face
Look
with the
at
boot.
that. It's little Liam too, the little bugger. We'll get him afterwards. No, just
All
kidding.
right.
Sorry. Oh, that's what it was. Fantastic work. Delta Cable, lovely job. That was so good. And the good thing is Carlee can look at this back and, you know, she can play that back 100 times and
relive the moment.
And particularly the lovely little spit she did just then. I mean, I'm sure she's going to enjoy to see that
Well, just
over
to
and over on Delta
put our
cable.
viewers at rest, though, the little bugger will not be got after the game.
Oh,
so.
sorry, yes, that's true. My bad. Now Liam's he's a good kid. I mean, there was nothing in that at all. I mean, that's actually great that you did a replay on that, because it just shows you. I mean, accidents can happen in everything, in every sport, and there was nothing intentional there. And
I mean, an accident like that can happen across any type of field sport like this. So really,
Absolutely.
many of the things that people have in their minds about Aussie rules football. Oh, she's up now.
That's good. Nicely done.
Cheered from the crowd.
You know, I almost feel like she did it deliberately, just so we could talk about her and keep mentioning her name and show a replay. And
Close up.
she actually did come up to me earlier and say, "Make sure you mention my name." So
Well, she's had a 15 minutes now,
Aw.
so
she doesn't seem very happy.
no.
Still, that's what happens with a boot in the face, I guess.
And like I was saying earlier, it can happen anywhere. So
Yeah.
many of the things that do happen are across any sport people might be worried about.
Yeah, absolutely.
A stoppage like that might be a good point to bring in the clock in this game.
Yeah.
Would the referees have stopped it just then?
Well, we actually call it time on. It's like injury time, if you like. So it will affect the overall how long the quarter goes for. So it'll just be like a longer quarter.
Similar than in football, soccer.
Yeah, injury time kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You got it.
So the clock throughout the game is then continuous.
Yeah, it's continued. I mean, that's what happens in the National League anyway. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. They probably stop their watches because we're not doing it that way.
Well, even
Otherwise
in
we'll
a
be here
sport
forever.
like
so.
soccer, the clock is continuous, but
Yeah.
is stopped for prolonged
Yeah.
injuries and things like that. So
Yeah, true.
you can expect much of the same, I suppose.
Justin just sent the ball forward, and Maddie clears it. Chenille's getting thrown around there, but he loves it. Matt loves a tackle as well. Gets out of it well. Nicely done from Chenille.
I did notice, though, when Carlee went out just now, that we had to wait for a substitution. And do you carry substitutes?
No, we actually we're right on the mark. We have just the right amount of players. We don't like substituting. We like everyone to have as much of a game as everybody else. So kick forward from Jordan, and that was offline and through for the one behind. So there are still a good 6 goals ahead, the Roos.
So an unfortunate situation like this where a player has to be on the sidelines might mean a team goes short or find
Yeah.
a willing spectator.
Exactly. Well, there's normally other kids around, and we can normally drag them into a game. But doesn't seem to be too many down here at the moment. It's a pity because they could have got their heads on TV. But anyway, maybe they didn't want that. Anyway,
Will just be known, it sometimes pays off to come down and
that's right.
watch your local Aussie Rules Junior League.
Exactly.
You never know if you'll get in a game.
Jordan and Tyler there. Good little battle. Liam's jumping in there as well. Nicely done.
Ball's bobbled around a bit.
Yep, Brant was in there as well. Bit of ordinary play still. And I think umpire Greg's going to ball it up. Got a bit of windage. We call that? No, that's what
There's
I call
actually a
it.
name for that?
No, I just
Oh, I
I
didn't
make
think so.
up a lot of stuff too. So just take all this with a grain of salt.
The play does seem to have become almost choppy.
Nicely done. Yes, much like the wind it is. It's quite choppy. And Brant has the ball. Kicks it forward. Yeah, it's got a bit messy, really.
Whereas we were seeing a lot more roosts in the first quarter. Now it's
Yep.
the ball's it's not really moving anywhere very fast.
I don't know whether it's they're conscious of the wind or something, and they're just being careful. I don't know what it is. But Jordan has the ball now, and this should be a goal. In theory, sends it forward, straight through the middle. Nicely done. That's a good one to get actually, because that keeps them in it. Could have a close finish after all. I do like a close finish. Had our first tied game earlier on today. Scores were even at the end.
And what happens at that point?
Nothing at all.
Oh, okay.
End of story. They share the points. We do a 4 points for a win, and and 2 points if you have a tie. But that's actually the first tie we've had in the competition in the four years we've been doing this.
So now that we're talking points-wise, why don't you break down the table for me in terms of what, like 4 points for a win,
yep.
and how many teams?
Well, there's 4 teams in each of we have 3 divisions, so the under 16s, 13s, and 11s, and yeah, it's basically 4 points for a win, 2 points if you tie, and 0 if you don't win.
So really, with only 4 teams, it's 4 points can go a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's good to get a win on the board, that's for sure. Get those 4 points. These kids are pretty good about the whole winning losing thing. I mean, we try not to sort of push that on them too much. They're just, for the most part, they're just happy being out there.
Well, talking with Mike earlier, he did allude to the fact that it's a very community-oriented sport, like training together, just...
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's right. Everyone trains together, yet they play each other in their games, against each other in the games. Robin's gone flying over the line.
It becomes more
Justin,
like...
sorry.
Oh, sorry. It becomes more like friends than... You're more like one big team, then broken down on the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with that. That was Tommy just in there then. He has the ball in his hands right now. Good to see him getting involved. And umpire Chris, the Canary, in the middle there, about to throw the ball up.
Both players missed it.
Both missed it, yep. Justin, hand passed over.
Losing his footing.
Got 2 Justins, makes it nice and confusing. Hand pass from Courtney. Liam has the ball, sends it forward. I think that's going to be offline. There is a mark. Nice mark from Robin. He plays on though. Nicely done, and pops it through the middle. So that's actually, that was a good decision because he was on a bit of an angle and he would have had to go back and kick on that angle. Would have been probably a lot harder than what he did, was just to play on and just run into an open goal and bang it through. Nicely done.
So in doing so, he just created the space to get a better angle for the 6 instead of the 1.
Yep, absolutely. And we would just say, yeah, play on. That's just say that's advantage, play on.
Will the coaches be yelling these types of things from the sidelines?
In theory, if they're awake on the side, it looks like they are. Yeah. I mean,
we actually got a replay of that.
Did we?
Yes. So if you want to walk us through it.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so he took the mark. See how close he is to the behind post. He immediately plays on because he would have had to kick it from that angle. So he's played on instead to open up the face of the goal, and he's banged it through. He's going to love this replay. Nicely done. Good one, guys. That was good.
Watching it in slow motion like that, though, you really see how you were showing us earlier about taking the mark and catching the ball.
Yeah.
And how difficult it might actually be. So we'll pick up the play. We're back at the other end.
Greg has the ball. Umpire Greg. Well, something's happened. I think it must have crossed the line. It's gone through for a behind. To the Crocs. Creeping a little bit closer now.
Actions from one end to the other here at Burnsview in North Delta.
I think Stuart's got the mark here.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the North Delta Junior Australian Football League.
I think Stuart's come on for Carlee, by the way. We have had a swap of players. He was the guy that just took the mark a minute ago. Yeah, Evan gets swung around, and that's the end of the second quarter of play.
So what happened in that second quarter, Jason, that just made the kind of slow down the game a bit?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was definitely a bit of a breeze. I think too the injury didn't help as well because they were in momentum and they all stopped, and I think that might have had something to do with it.
We see the Roos leading total score of 45-24 over the Crocs.
21 points the difference.
So what types of things do you think the Crocs need to do from this point to maybe, well, get back in it, obviously?
Kick a few goals, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can probably see is I think Jordan's getting a lot of the ball, but he's doing a lot of it on his own and sending the ball down forward. There's not a lot of system there, so they should be looking for leads, helping each other out. If they do more of that, I think they'll get back into the game, because the Roos are doing that really well. They're passing really well up front, and yeah, it's been good display from the Roos so far, but anything can happen.
And do the coaches coach during the game?
Yeah, I mean, not as much in this age group, because some of these kids have been doing it for 4 years and so on. But in the younger age groups, the coaches actually walk out onto the field as well and say, you know, oh yeah, do this, do that, whatever, and encourage and all that kind of stuff.
So with the younger kids, it's as much more also in the learning process with the coaches on the field.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Yep.
And will kids that you new players to the league come straight into teams like this?
Yeah, I mean, we get them at, there's training nights as well, so I'll talk to them at training. And what I've tried to do this year too, I mean, I haven't been out as much as I would like to have been because of other reasons, but when I've been out here too, I've tried to take 1 or 2 players aside, especially the new ones, and just say, okay, this is how you hold the ball, this is how you kick it, and try and work on their skills a bit.
Get them up to speed with the other kids.
Yeah, and get them to feel comfortable as well. So, I mean, some of them really pick it up. I mean, Robin just then, when you showed the replay, I mean, he's only been playing for a few weeks.
Really?
Third or fourth week, I think, and but he's just a good athlete anyway. I think he'll pick anything up. So some kids pick it up really easily, and he's listened to instructions, so it's good. But they're all great kids to coach and umpire and be around, and it's good. It's a good league.
All right. Well, we used your footy at the first break, but now tell me a little bit about you and the game. Like, what are your experiences?
Surely it's not all about me, is it? All right, it is. No. Well, my experience is, well, basically, I never actually played the game in Australia. I came here about 8 years ago. And when I moved, I came to Edmonton, actually, long story. Came to Vancouver and actually played in the first game of Aussie rules in Canada. So with the Vancouver
So
Cougars.
in the history books.
In the history books. I don't know what, I think I didn't play very well, I don't think. But anyway, which is unusual. Oh, no. So, I mean, it was my first sort of introduction to actually playing as well, because I watched it, loved watching the game in Australia, but grew up playing soccer. So parents said this was a little too rough. Again, as a junior, as kids, the tackling sort of, we honed down on the tackling and so on. So it's not quite so rough as when you sort of get older.
Right.
But again, like other sports and rugby and so on, and yeah, so yeah, it's just been great because it's taken off in British Columbia, particularly with Vancouver and Burnaby now as well. Victoria have a team as well, and I'm sure, I don't know if Mike spoke about all that before. He may have in the last game, but yeah, it's all good, and we've got a bit of wind again.
Now, we did get a shot of it there at the break. Oh, both teams were in the same huddle.
Yeah.
With Mike, so
exactly.
It just gives you a sense of what a community this league really is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're all just out here for a bit of fun, have a kick, and that is what's so great about it. I mean, we could have a coach per team, and we've got a lot of coaches now that one could assign themselves to one team, particularly on the match days, and take it like that. But we don't really need that. So it's this format has worked for a few years. So why change a good thing, I guess. Tyler sends the ball forward.
Well, you really have to think that it's a benefit to all the kids to have the experience of all the coaches.
Yeah,
as opposed to just one.
Yep, I agree. Brandt sends the ball upfield. Crocs have really got to do some work here, and good little bit of a run here from Patrick. He's done well here. Until he got tackled, he almost lost possession of the ball there. Tommy was in there then too. A little bit hard to see on the field. I should look at the monitor. There we go. All right. Still a bit ordinary in the middle there. Matty gets the ball. Now he went the one hand with the kick, and if he uses two hands, much more accurate. That was the problem there, and it's been turned over because Liam's taken the mark in defence. Sends it forward. Off the legs, that's a mark. Came off his foot. Unusual one. And we got we have Justin. Justin has the ball, sends it forward. Jordan's in there. Now she's pulling on his jersey. We don't really go for that in this. That should have been probably a free kick to Jordan there, just because we're trying to protect these jerseys. It's not an official AFL rule, but it's one of our rules. Didn't quite see what happened there, but it's play on. Liam has just taken off and played on. Sends it forward. And Jordan comes off the feet of Jordan and goes out of bounds. I think Justin's going to bring it in for the Roos.
Are these authentic Aussie rules jerseys?
They're authentic looking, yes.
I just mean from the point that it might be difficult to get something like that
Yeah,
here.
yeah, exactly. They were made up. They were made up over here, but in the style of the Aussie rules, where the sleeveless and so on. Yeah, which is great, and the way we've done the numbers and everything as well. I mean, the numbers can go up to 70, 80, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Is that just in a numbering system, or how big generally would a AFL squad? How many players would they carry?
I think most of the squads are 44 or it's something like that. If you can try,
Really?
if you can try and get through a season with 30, I think the Adelaide Crows actually I heard last year got through the season with 33 players or something, which apparently is unheard of because normally there's injuries and things, and it means that they're doing all the right things as far as injuries are concerned. And yeah, so that's. I mean, remember there's 18 players on the field for each team on the big field in Australia, so it's not like we have 9 here, I think it is. So yeah, 3, 3, and 3 in each of the zones. So there's a lot more players on the field normally. Jordan has the ball again. If I had $1 for every time I've mentioned Jordan's name, I'd be a rich guy, very rich.
Now, we've talked about the jerseys, but maybe what other equipment
Nice kick.
would the players have?
Mouth guards, absolute must. That's the main thing. I mean, there's no padding or anything else like that. Justin just sent the ball forward, but he's offline. It goes through for a 1 behind. Yeah, so it's everything else is pretty standard. It's no padding or anything else, just a mouth guard and your boots is pretty well it. So it's a very inexpensive game to play. That's for sure.
Underneath the stripy socks,
Yeah.
shin pads?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
No, I know. It's not like soccer with that. Yeah, it's just your leg. Hand pass over again to Jordan. There's another $1. Sends it forward. Oh, there's a bit of a push in the back there. It was missed by the umpire somehow. I don't know how he missed that. Come on, Chris. Anyway, Chanel takes the ball, runs away. Nice smother there from Robin. Oh, actually, that was Jordan, I think.
I did notice there, Jason, Chanel just touching the ball to the ground.
Yes.
Is that allowed, or?
Yep, it is. You can either bounce the ball or touch it to the ground like that. So some of the players are not too confident with the bouncing. That takes quite a getting used to. So he just thought he'd touch it to the ground instead.
Well, I suppose if your hands are big enough to be able to get control of the ball with one hand, then you can do that.
Yeah, for sure. The good thing about that too is it's normally done a lot in the wet weather, because if you try and bounce the ball and it's slippery and on the ground, it sort of just slides. It doesn't bounce up to you. So that's really when you want to use it a lot, as if you're running with it. You got to bounce every 10 steps. You're supposed to bounce the ball, or touch it to the ground. Otherwise, it's called running too far. Nicely done from Chanel, but he played on when he took the mark, so the umpire said play on.
The Roos have just, worth noting, have just chalked up another point on the board.
Courtney the ball over now to Robin, who sends it forward. I think he was having a shot for goal. Don't be afraid to have a shot, son.
Look good until the bounce.
Yeah, I mean, that's another good part of this game too, is I love the way the ball can be sort of aiming right for the goals. You know, it could be rolling along the ground, then all of a sudden takes a weird bounce and goes through for a behind, or the other way around. You never know what you're going to get, so it's unpredictable. It's good.
Well, you can tell that by the way players line up to catch one of these, and then suddenly they're a few yards away from it.
Yeah, exactly. Liam takes a nice saving mark back there. He's having a good game, actually. Courtney's getting a lot of kicks too, and Robin's doing very, very well. Took a good mark there. Now he's lining up. Hopefully someone's making a lead for him up front. Tries to bring the rain down with that one. And Tyler takes a great mark. So he'll line up the goals as his dad has the goal umpire down there. If he aims for him right now, he'll pop it right through the middle. He's having to think about it. I think he wants to have a bit of a shot. Not a bad kick. It's offline, but the mark has been taken up there. The big guy, Evan, he plays on. Oh, at that time it didn't work to play on. The ball was smothered. He just didn't get the height on the ball he needed. Brand has the ball, a hand pass over. Robin's in there, Courtney has it. Out to Justin, the hand pass. Weaves around, sends it forward. Derek was in there trying to get Brandt. Yep, too high. Called there from Chris, umpire Chris.
Now the ball will be brought back for... Sorry, what's it called?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Oh, no, it's a...
Oh, it was too high. It was a free kick, so...
oh, it's just a free kick.
Yeah, around the neck. Yep, just a free kick.
I was thinking of a rook.
Good mark. Patrick's had a great game here. I'm really impressed with him. That was really good. Oh, TJ's taking a sensational mark for the cameras, and he knows it. He's loving it.
I think everyone else knew it too, judging by the applause.
Yeah, well, it's funny because TJ's actually marking, but Liam takes a nice low-down mark as well. TJ's been known for having slippery fingers, but today he's been marking really well. In fact, this year he's really come on. Justin picks the ball up nicely as the sun comes out in Delta. Picked up by Lukey. Hand pass over, but to the wrong player. Jordan has it. Nice smother there. We call that a smother. That was from Lukey, and has a bit of a rough tackle there. Thank you very much. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits, we would say.
We're definitely learning a lot here today, Jason.
It's a bit of an oldie.
Might need subtitles for some of this.
I know. Kicks it forward. I think that touched the ground first, so that won't count as a mark. Play on is called. Oh, he's picked it up. Hand pass. I don't know why he did that, but I guess he was in trouble. He had to get rid of it. So Lukey just got rid of it best he could. Chenille's in here with Robin. Puts the tackle on. Hand pass back. Another good tackle there. That was Derek who was just tackled. Robin has it. Goes with the left foot. Nicely done. Except there's a defender there, and it's Jordan once again. I'm racking up my bank balance. He sends it forward. Courtney has the ball.
The Roos have been
and
getting quite a bit of the ball.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're playing a good game actually. They're playing as a team, and it's looking good for them.
Just unfortunately, don't have much to show for it.
Peppering the goals, we would say. They're peppering the goals, but they've been a bit offline. Chenille has it. Really needs to give it a bit of a roost here, I think. They got to get the ball down into the forward lines pretty quickly. I don't think there's much time left. Matty drops what he probably should have taken. Almost a throw there from Patrick. That's something that can't really do the way he did that. Good tackle laid on Justin then. I think Braden was out there then, got tackled. TJ gets the ball again. Little kick forward. Justin has it once more. Tries to take a bounce. Didn't sit up nicely for him, but he still was good enough to get it. And he gets the free kick. He hand passed it over in front of him, and then he was tackled. He didn't have the ball, so he gets the free kick.
So now we've got this free kick. I'll take the opportunity to ask you. I've got a list here of terms I might hear, and I've just been wanting to know, what's pie with sauce?
What's a pie with sauce?
Yeah.
What's a meat pie with ketchup? But we don't say ketchup, we say just sauce, because everyone knows that's what we're talking about. It's tomato sauce or ketchup or whatever. So yeah, meat pie. Got to have a meat pie when you're at the footy. Not when you're playing, but when you're watching it. Justin takes it. Good mark too. Nice looking kick, but it's going to hold up, and a defensive mark back there. That's good plays. He's got it out of defense. Brandt doing well out there. Got to get this ball forward. I mean, they're a bit far behind. They're still 4 goals behind. It's a fairly low-scoring game now, so can't really see them getting back into it. They might want to make it a little bit more respectable. Hand pass forward now. This is Justin again. Has all the time in the world. Dodges a tackle. Sends it forward. And it's touched through for a point. Which is, I mean, if that defender wasn't there right then, Derek that was, would have gone through for a goal. So it's very important to get back, get a touch on the ball. Went through. It's only 1 instead of 6. Good tackle laid from Patrick. Held to him, says the umpire. So the umpire's basically saying that Robin didn't have any opportunity there to get rid of the ball. So he'll ball it up, and they will jump for it. And up they go. Nice tap from Robin.
Good hand on it.
Kevin tried to grab it there out of the air. Number 5 there for the Roos. Nicely done from Brandt. Malena gives the ball over. That was Tommy sending them forward with his left foot. Braden's in there. Maddie has the ball, charges forward, sends the ball on its way. That could bounce all the way through. It's going to be offline, I think, and that's one behind. But the Crocs.
So just the one flag, that's right?
Yes. Oh, Lynn's doing a sensational job there. Look at her waving a flag. And that's the end of the game. So it's a big victory for the Roos over the Crocs today. And I think the final score, we have 50 points to 25. So they doubled the score.
North Delta Roos doubling the North Delta Crocs in that one. And really, Jason, you have to think, does the difference come down to kicking?
I don't know. I think the Roos had a lot of the ball all over the ground. I think they were kind of dominating it for the most part. And again, team play. They were passing it around well and they were marking well. They weren't making as many errors, I think, too. It came down to that. Yeah, but it was a pretty good game in the end.
Well, the Roos did have a lot of the ball towards the end of that third quarter, but they just weren't able to do anything with it, or? Yeah,
well, the Crocs, you mean, or? Yeah, the Crocs. Yeah, I think, I mean, it's all about skills as well. I mean, if you can deliver a good pass to somebody and they take the mark and they can line up and have a shot at goal. So if you're not accurate with your pass, then you can't really set up a good goal-scoring opportunity. So a lot of times they did have the ball, they were just sending it forward, just kicking it sort of to nobody, where I found the Roos were at least passing it around and so on. So.
All right, now, if you had to pick a star for this game, just to put you on the spot.
Jeez. Tough. I would probably say I actually liked Robin for the Roos. I thought Robin was really good.
I'll let you pick one from each team.
Good. You know what? I really liked Patrick for the Crocs. I thought he was great. Jordan as well had a lot of the ball. Those two, Maddie did a lot of good things. They all did a good job. We normally try not to single out the odd player here and there, but but yeah, that'd probably be my picks, I think.
Well, from up here, we can definitely praise both teams for an entertaining day of Aussie Rules football. Let me just ask you now, contact-wise, I understand you have a website?
Yeah, we do. It's a blog website, and it's North Delta Juniors AFL, so it's ndjafl.blogspot.com.
So if you're interested, remember that.
And we keep the standings and the scores on there too now. We've got the results on there, and it's fun. We've got photos on there, a couple of videos, things like that, so it's pretty good.
So what's next looking ahead to the season?
Well, we've actually only got another 3 rounds to go until that's it. So yeah, I don't know. It's been good. I mean, no one's sort of been running away with victories and way ahead on the table or anything. It's quite good as far as the standings are concerned. Everything's tight. Very exciting for the next 3 rounds.
So when you say 3 rounds, does that span over 3 weeks?
Yeah, next 3 weeks. Yep. So yeah. Should be a good finish, I think. We always have a good wrap-up here as well for the last game. We give out medals, prizes.
Nice-looking prize here.
Yes, so yeah, no, it should be good, once again. A good season.
What kind of commitment is this sport from the kids' perspective?
Yeah, it's a fair bit of a commitment. I mean, they have a Wednesday night training and they have this on the Saturday as well. I think it's more of a commitment for the coaches, actually.
Oh, well, yeah. You would know.
Well, particularly for Mike as well, who basically has run the whole thing, started it all up. And considering he's in his mid-50s, I think he does a fine job.
Oh, he won't like you for that one.
So, no, he's a good guy. He's always doing clinics at schools, and he probably talked to you about that. So the commitment from him is unbelievable. And I try and do as much as I can as well on the side, and Greg and Steve and Chris and the other coaches are doing a great job.
Excellent. Well, Jason, I'll cut you off before you dig an even deeper hole with Mike.
Thanks very much. Good move.
From Burnsview, North Delta, I'm Andrew Lever. Thanks for watching.